in conversation on songs, setbacks, and stardom. Shekinah is an alum of Forbes Africa's 30 Under 30 list. She established herself on the global stage after appearing in the hit TV show Idols, making it to the top 6. She has since released 2 albums, Rose Gold and Trouble in Paradise, and raked in 4 South African Music Awards, as well as an MTV Africa Music Award.
What about that intro, hey?
Intense. I love it though.
As a under 30 myself and as the curator, I'm personally super excited for this panel, especially as we're heading into the 10th anniversary of Forbes Africa Under 30. 10th anniversary, you can give that an applause, please. We're speaking to someone who was recognized on the list 5 years ago in 2018.
Crazy.
What has life been like since, from 2018 up until now? Speak to us about that.
Life has been beautiful, challenging, and a learning experience, a constant learning experience. Just a lot of school fees being paid, mistakes being made. I make a lot of mistakes, but I love doing it. I learn from my mistakes. Since the Forbes 30 Under 30, I think that recognition was something that was unexpected, but at the same time, I appreciated being acknowledged for what goes on behind just making the music. I think there's so much that's put into everything. I think it's important to acknowledge that. So thank you so much to Forbes for seeing me. Yeah.
I think it was a big moment, especially when it comes to the creative economy. But when we look at your career, you didn't have the most conventional beginning, right? You went from Idols SA, and correct me if I'm wrong, at that moment, the consensus was you were too young, but you didn't let that get to you. You continued to pursue your passion and your dream. Can you talk to us about your key milestones that you've had in your career?
I think my key milestones would have definitely been, definitely start as a child, acknowledge your passions. I think that's important. Whatever it is, I knew that stage was my passion, as awkward as I am now on this stage. I knew that performance was something that I loved. I acknowledged that. That was a key milestone for me, I think. The second thing would obviously be doing a competition like Idols. I think the beauty of that competition was, it was kind of a taste of how my life would be 7 days a week. You don't really see a musician kind of like as a full-time job. But when you're on the show, you have 7 days of hard work, whether it's preparing a song, rehearsals. It kind of just shaped how my life works right now. And then I think the next milestone would be college. I didn't become a star straight after high school. I had to go back to college. And as corny and as cheesy as it can be, education has really been my key to success, I think. So those are big milestones for me, yeah.
When it comes to this creative economy, there's this huge misconception that when it comes to, being in the industry, education and creativity isn't linked. How do you think we can overcome, that sort of discussion point?
Look, I think it's each to their own. It's each to their own, but I thrive off of knowledge, and I think I stand on business because I know my stuff, and that's because of my educational background. I think it's just learning. It's not really, it doesn't have to be a formal kind of situation. If you're learning online, if you're learning by traveling and visiting places, or, moving to a different city as a young person to find yourself, all those are learning experiences and constitute as education to me. But I think you want to be able to stand up for yourself. And in order to be able to stand up for yourself and not be swayed by anything, you need to know what's up? Yeah.
And what's up?
What up? Yeah, a lot is up. So yeah, I encourage it. I always encourage education. I think my biggest thing is being such a naughty high schooler. I wish I listened. I wish I listened in high school more, and I just encourage all my younger siblings, trust me, you don't want to be reading this book later on in life, do it now. Yeah.
Talking about standing on business.
Yes.
You know, it probably feels like a cliche question to ask, but females in this industry, you know, have to overcome a multitude of challenges, especially to get to the same position as their male counterparts.
100%.
The last time we spoke, you spoke a lot about, you know, not wanting to embrace, you know, trying to be, you know,
a man.
I'm
not, yeah.
To make it in the industry. But can you just talk to us about, you know, some of the challenges that you've had to overcome, and just touch more on that, you know, feminine energy that you speak of so well?
I think I acknowledge my masculine as much as I acknowledge my feminine. I love my masculine. She's out a lot to play. And I also love my feminine. And I think I've been so encouraged by a lot of people to run my business with less emotion, with, you know, less passion, less love, less family-oriented. But I think those are the things that make women so amazing, that we have that. So
that's beautiful.
I choose not to, and I choose to run everything I do with love from a feminine perspective. And I will ask you how you're doing before I start anything. I will check in on you and how your mental health is, and I will make food for the boys when they come to rehearse, and I will always lead with my feminine energy. I will run my business as a woman and be proud about that. And I think when it comes to the challenges, I don't really know how to fix anything, but to just continue to voice my opinion as much as I can. I think I recently just experienced this weekend, I did a show. This is an overshare. I did a show.
We love overshares here.
I'm an oversharer. I did a show this weekend, and I was the only female on the lineup, but I was put on first. And that's not a problem for me. It was a beautiful audience. It was packed at 11 a.m. But the issue for me is there are 10 males in the hotel sleeping that are going to get up and put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and be okay. And I'm forced to wake up early, lay my wig, do my makeup, because I can't come on stage without it. Then it's going to be a conversation, as we've seen online with other females. It's like we get called out when we don't look presentable, but at the same time, it's not considered. You know, there's small details, you know. I think we need to continue to reinforce that and be okay with that. And I'm also there where I'm trying to just make men understand that we're not the same. We experience things differently, and that's okay. I think the idea of femininity is not necessarily trying to be a man and say we're equal. You know, that's not my conversation. It's just, I'm a woman, and you need to acknowledge that. So I'm always pushing for that. I do come across as a diva, and I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we're still speaking on business. You know, you've done a lot. You've been very outspoken about, you know, everything that's happening in the music industry, specifically in South Africa, and you've advocated and celebrated a lot of female artists that have come out of South Africa who have had global recognition, 100%. Like yourself. What do you think of what's happening in the industry lately? From our Tylers to our Uncle Waffles?
I think it is a gift from the femme gods. Thank you. At 30 years old, I can be inspired by a Waffles and a Tyler. And I think they're not just there for the young girls. They're there for us to remind us that our dreams are still valid. I'm still inspired to win a Grammy because of Tyler. I'm still inspired to do cool things because of Waffles. Waffles pushes the creativity to crazy. If you open Pinterest, Waffles is a reference on Pinterest for everything. Good hair, good nails, good, you know, and I feel like those people are so important that like they're placed on this earth to remind us of what we are capable of. They're no different to any of us. And they're beacons. We all need a beacon of hope, so I'm glad that our girlies are in the spotlight, our queens are there shining, and we're all right there behind them. So the door's open, let's just walk behind them very quietly, yeah.
Look, yeah, I can talk to you all day about this. This is a big, big passion of mine, and, you know, under 30, doing amazing things, it's fantastic. But just to close off, if you could give young girls in this space one piece of advice, just one line, what would it be? No pressure.
No pressure. It would be to believe in yourself. I don't expect anyone else to believe in you. It really does start within. You can really bring yourself down before anyone else actually does. I think my biggest competition is myself, and my biggest enemy is me. So believe in yourself. Yeah.
Biggest competition is you. I love that. Thank you so much,
Thank
Shekinah.
you. Are we good?
Yes.